This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, a long commute. Some CBU students are driving 5 hours just to get to class. Food forest. Students in Lunenberg dig into the dirt to learn about food sustainability. And they're off. Kids and their miniature horses compete at the Truro Raceway.
This pesky low still spinning to our east, bringing some shower chances, especially for Cape Breton again on Wednesday. Not a bad day for the mainland. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. Some international students at Cape Breton University are facing a difficult question. How far will you travel for your education? The students are choosing to live in Halifax to more easily find housing and employment and commuting 5 hours to get to class. Matthew Pine spoke to a few students about spending that much time behind the wheel.
It's not a soothing ride that you say, I'm going to enjoy the particular views, I'm going to Sydney, and I'm watching all the trees and everything, roads, blank. No, it's a emotionally draining, mentally draining experience.
This is Maninder Singh, and he's describing his experience traveling from Halifax to Sydney twice a week for school. His story is like many other international students who move to Halifax for more opportunities.
You get more jobs, you have security, you have job. The employer can guarantee you that, hey, we can help you out with your permanent residency and stuff.
Students who make the move are having to start their commute at 3 a.m. to make it to class. And during the winter, sometimes, students like Rana Kumar Trivedi are finding out about a snow day halfway through their drive.
You landed there and you got to know that the campus is closed and you just have to come back, and sometimes it happened that the classes are being arranged in the next day, so you have to stay in Sydney in one of your friend's house.
Aminder Singh was an international student at CBU. He started a shuttle company where more than 80% of his customer base are international students. He says they're choosing rides with strangers on social media to save money. But he's concerned they're putting themselves at risk.
They are not covered any insurance if they share a ride with any of the customer, any unknown person, and even they don't know with whom they are going. So it's good if they choose any shuttle service, they can complain about that and they have an idea that with whom they are going.
Scott Stewart is a professor at CBU that teaches a course made up completely of international students. He says sometimes he has to run tests on 2 dates to make sure everyone can get to Sydney to write it.
I hope that we more closely align community capacity and university capacity as well with the number of students that we have. I know there's a movement toward that next year, and I hope that continues till we get to something that's sustainable and much more workable for students.
CBU said in a statement that its students are not required to tell them where they live, and that the university realizes students are living in other communities for employment and housing, but doesn't recommend it. The university also says it is advocating for more housing and is renovating and building more residences. Matthew Pine, CBC News, Halifax.
At least one Halifax parent says she won't be able to go to work unless her child gets a coveted spot in the Afterschool Excel program. The Halifax Regional Centre for Education offers both before and after school care for students through Excel. Right now, there is a long waiting list to get into both. 700 students are waiting for spots in the early morning program, and 1,500 are waiting for spots in the afternoon. Some parents say without that care, they'll have to make some difficult choices.
I work in healthcare, I'm a physician, and if I don't have care for my children, I can't go into work. And I think that would be the same for most parents, and especially women, because we know that the burden of childcare disproportionately falls to women.
Staff at HRCE say the wait lists are getting longer as the population in HRM grows. But the numbers this year do not appear to be spiking beyond the general upward trend. The Nova Scotia government is paying to set up 2 new pallet shelters, a pallet community designated for seniors and a standalone facility reserved for Black and African Nova Scotians. Both are located in Dartmouth. Jean Laroche reports.
Workers are putting together the 41 shelters that will be offered to seniors who are without a place to live. After these kits are assembled, they'll be hooked up to power. Then work will begin on shared washrooms and laundry facilities. Although the site is in the middle of the Woodside Industrial Park, the Nova Scotia government says the people who will live here will be close to whatever they need.
We're looking for spaces that have the amenities around them and a lot of amenities within walking distance or on a bus route. So it's really important that we find spaces that work within the municipality, work with our service providers, and actually give people access to grocery stores and things like that, right?
The people who live in the building behind the site are just learning about their new neighbors, but this resident is all for it.
It's great. I mean, it'll help a lot of people. And it's great for the community, right?
And the fact that they're earmarked for seniors, what do you think of that?
Great, yeah, I think it's fabulous.
The other new shelter is across the way in the community of Westfall. It's on a major bus route, but nowhere near other homes. The province has paid to turn this aging building into this. We weren't allowed to take images inside, but we're told there's space for 35 people who are Black or African Nova Scotian. This municipal politician is happy help is on the way for people who live in Dartmouth, but he says other communities also need shelters.
Not everything can go to one community, right? You know, these things have to be spread out. And it's not just a NIMBY thing. They have to be spread out because they have to serve the people who are in other communities too, right? You know, if you're in crisis, if you're homeless, your option shouldn't be, well, I have to leave my community and go to another one to get some support and services. You should be taken care of where you already have, you know, your support network.
Although the total of 76 new shelter spaces won't begin to meet the growing demand, the province says it will make a big difference given the experience at the province's first pallet community in Lower Sackville.
We're seeing people go back to work, and we're seeing people start to transition to the next stage of their life. So for the individuals living in there, it's going to make a big difference, but we know there's a lot more work to do.
The hope is this new community will be fully up and running by the fall. Jean Laroche, CBC News, Dartmouth.
An endangered right whale was recently spotted near Peggy's Cove. Hikers captured drone footage of this rare shoreline sighting while climbing on Dover's Island on Saturday. The executive director of the Marine Animal Response Society says the animal is a 3-year-old male in relatively good shape.
He's not looking too bad. I mean, he's heading into the feeding grounds, so they always look a little thinner and a little sort of grayer until they come into these rich feeding grounds. So hopefully that's where he's headed and he'll get there safely and be able to bulk up a little bit.
And I'll talk to Tanya Wimmer with the Marine Animal Response Society about what she thought when she saw the whale so close to shore. That's our newsmaker just after 6:30. Well, today might have been a pretty good day for a hike. I don't know if you'd see a right whale in the water or not. Maybe not that lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough, right? A great day for a swim for the whales, for sure. Water temps still a wee bit cool, obviously. Beautiful, though, absolutely. Coastside and all across the province today. You can see clouds have kicked up a little bit here in Lunenberg over the last moment or so, or last hour or so. But overall, it is a fine day in Lunenberg and across the province. You can see the clouds for the most part. It's been a mix of sun and cloud as expected today, and actually a little brighter towards eastern areas than anticipated. Cloud cover still pretty capped in Cape Breton, a couple of isolated showers there, but overall, yeah, not too bad. Temperatures kind of widespread low to mid-20s, a little cooler in those onshore winds. High pressure is going to hang on. This low is going to be pesky and will continue to be in the mix again for tomorrow, particularly for Cape Breton. But that little area of high pressure, it's going to fight a good fight as we move into tomorrow. And here's how things will play out. So that low spinning around No Cape Breton, pretty capped in the white, with this, which is cloud cover with those shower chances, pretty persistent there. The mainland, though, doing pretty good. We'll see the clouds a little dominant again. Northumberland shore down towards Guysborough County, even into the afternoon. Now, as we turn the page into Thursday, that low will continue to weaken. We've got a couple of very isolated shower chances, but overall Thursday is looking like another fine day. Watching this approaching system for Friday, though, the trend has been a bit further south than that. And so while I do think the clouds will build up a little bit and we'll have a few isolated showers, overall, the next 3 days looking pretty quiet indeed. That'll, of course, set the stage for the weekend, which we'll dive into with more detail through 7-day coming up.
Yes, we want to know about that as well. All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
There has been another significant elver seizure in this province, one of the biggest yet. Fisheries officers recently seized 60 kilograms of illegal elvers at a ground transport facility in Dartmouth. 2 people were arrested on May 31st, but the Department of Fisheries and Oceans only announced it this week. DFO did not say if the 2 people would be charged. The government says the product, worth between $250,000 and $350,000, was about to be driven to Toronto and then shipped overseas. This year, DFO canceled the elver fishery and made it illegal to catch or sell them while the government comes up with new regulations and enforcement measures. A primary school in Lunenberg is using a new project called a food forest to teach kids about food sustainability. The large garden on the school grounds is run by a nonprofit and produces fruit, herbs, and other edible plants for the community to enjoy. The CBC's Nicholas Sagan went to visit the food forest.
After weeks of growing tiny seedlings, this primary class at Blue Nose Academy got to hit the dirt, planting sunflowers, nasturtiums, and calendula, more edible flowers to add to the food forest.
I like scooping up the soil.
Run by a local nonprofit, the first trees were planted last year, and now the food forest is thriving.
There'll be pears, apples, cherries, plums, rhubarb, lots of berries, strawberries, blueberries, and so on.
The produce will go to the school cafeteria, and in return, the cafeteria's waste is used as compost. But it's not just feeding the kids, it's helping them learn.
It's such an important lesson for little students to start thinking about science and how everything is interconnected. So even from talking about parts of the seeds, parts of the plants, what happens when they're planted, what plants need, and how then care for them.
What kind of things did you think you learned from planting?
Being kind to the plants. Yeah.
And did you have to be really gentle?
Yeah.
How did you be gentle with the plants?
We holded them carefully. She holded them, I scooped the soil.
The project isn't just for students. The food forest is open to anyone in the community who wants to pitch in. And Quilty says it's not just a regular garden.
A food forest is an ancient way of growing food. It's been around for forever. People have been working with nature to grow food, but it's a perennial-based food production system.
The food forest is called Neadach, a Mi'kmaq word that means the sun is shining over us. Sean Feener chose the name and says the project shows Mi'kmaq teachings at work in the school system.
Right now they're planting, they're creating that place, and in the future they may be harvesting because they've gifted the space, the time, the food, and those beings are gifting something back.
And as the kids pat their seedlings into the dirt, they'll wait and watch them grow, hoping to soon enjoy the fruits of their labor. Nicholas Sagan, CBC News, Lunenberg.
The Edmonton Oilers have a chance to bring the Stanley Cup north of the border for the first time in more than 30 years. The Montreal Canadiens were the last team to win it in 1993. The same year, Edmonton's minor league team, the Cape Breton Oilers, won the Calder Cup. Here is our Kyle Moore with the Hockey Connection.
Oilers, for the first time in 18 years, are headed to the Stanley Cup Finals.
There is jubilation in Edmonton for Oilers fans across the country and here at home. Scott Purdy has been waiting almost 2 decades to watch his team in the Stanley Cup Final.
It was just a good feeling to finally see my team in the Cup Finals after 18 years, which seems like an awfully long wait.
For the first time in 18 years, the Oilers punched their ticket to the league final, defeating the Dallas Stars in 6 games. For some Cape Breton hockey fans, the Oilers hold a special place in their hearts.
A lot of us remember the Cape Breton Oilers, and they, of course, were connected to Edmonton. In fact, during the last Stanley Cup run for them, and I think in 1990, the Oilers, there's players back and forth between here and Cape Breton, which was their primary American Hockey League affiliate.
Win the Calder Cup in 5 games. Let the games begin. The celebration begins.
Paul McDonald, who is now the manager of Center 200, was the play-by-play broadcaster for the Cape Breton Oilers when they won the American Hockey League Championship in 1993. The banner still hangs in the arena today.
Still see a ton of Oiler jerseys here in Cape Breton, and I'm sure it's part of the past history, and it's been a few years now since they've been here, but still, I think people got connected to the team. They had a lot of star power as well back in that era, you know, with Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, and the like, and I think it's just part and parcel with it, and it's great to see, you know, the Oilers back in the Stanley Cup final.
The last Canadian team to win the Cup was Montreal in '93. Scott Purdy says there's room for everyone now to jump on the Oilers bandwagon.
I would certainly welcome them to oil country. It's, you know, arms are wide open.
Moves to the outside, works his way. What a goal! 1-0 Edmonton.
The puck will drop on Game 1 between the Oilers and the Panthers in Florida on Saturday night on CBC. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Sydney.
Well, there was a mini race with some miniature horses this weekend at the Truro Raceway. 13 youngsters and 15 minis came out to compete. Compete on the track, perhaps also compete for cuteness. Have a look.
I am one of the organizers for the mini horse series that is going throughout the Maritimes at all the tracks. Our industry is an old industry for harness racing, so our goal was to get the youth involved some way, somehow. It gives them an idea of if they want to be a driver, a trainer, stay in the industry, or just, you know, have a pony and enjoy it. So
I am racing, I guess, but I have a co-pilot.
And how do you like racing against the other kids?
Really fun. So we're racing against each other. It's gonna competition. I'm probably gonna win against Luna.
I never thought I would have 13 drivers and 15 ponies. It's actually grown to being huge because last year when we had it at Truro, it was there was 3 of them, 3 drivers and 3 ponies, so it's definitely boosted.
And they're off. Away quickly from the outside, Whiskey, Lucas Heffernan, Bailey. That is Maria coming on with Isaac McGuigan. Now the battle for the lead. That's Maria and Isaac McGuigan taking over on the outside. Whiskey and Lucas Heffernan, Bailey. They're head-to-head as they drive down the lane on the outside. Whiskey, Lucas Heffernan, Bailey up in the final strides over Maria.
Sunday fun day. I think it's a great idea. The more people we can get here, the better. Having the little ones, getting them started early, I think that's a great idea. It's a great opportunity for them too. Some of those little ones are around the barnyard just wanting to get on the bike, so I think it's great for them.
Well, I did have a lot of fun. I didn't win, but it was really fun.
I did pretty good. I got 2 wins in 1 second.
I finished 3rd, so that's good. I didn't finish last like last year.
A lot of people, even within Colchester County, doesn't know that they have a racetrack in their backyard. But also we love to see that the youth get involved. Once you have your fans, you have your betting. Once you have your betting, you have your races. So it kind of goes all together.
We had a lot of fun, and we both went pretty fast. She ended up winning.
Oh, she did win.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you beat your sister?
Yep.
How does that feel?
Feels pretty great.
Coming up, are some MPs acting as agents of foreign powers? A new parliamentary report has some alarming allegations. And a potential assassin arrested, likely in the nick of time. A CBC investigation reveals the suspect was arrested ahead of a wedding attended by enemies of the Indian government. And an adorable look at a fawn and her mom. This was taken over the weekend by Chris Lightfoot at his cottage near Wallace River. We've got Ryan up next with his weather forecast. Stay with us. Yeah, it was a nice day today.
Yeah.
I soaked up a little bit of sun. I got a break in, got out there.
It's even for a few moments, highly recommended over the next couple of days if you can squeak out, because the next 2 days looking pretty good. I think Friday we're going to cloud up. And while I do think we'll see the sunshine this weekend, Saturday looking like the better of the 2 days, the clouds definitely are going to be, I think, a little more dominant towards the end of the week and into the weekend.
Get the sun while you can then.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look at our webcam shot, and you can see Iona, Highland Village in Cape Breton. And yes, the sun breaking through, and as expected today in Cape Breton as well. It's been more dominant there, but it has been breaking through. And temperatures there right now, 15 degrees. Yeah, mainly cloudy skies, but a fine evening. for sure in and around the Bedore Lakes region. And as you can see, 18 at Ingonish Beach. Loving that kind of a flow right now from the north down sloping off the highlands. And you can see temperatures right now, 13 at Cheticamp, 13 at Pictou, looking at 16 at Ingonish, and then into the 20s here down into the south and west. That's where temperatures have been warmest, as we can see here. And yeah, let's look at the winds, which really tell the story. Obviously, with this northerly flow, sustained near 20, even 30 in Port Hawkesbury, 20 at Amherst, 26 in through the Yarmouth area. Some gusts upwards of 30 to 40 kilometers per hour is expected today. And it's all thanks to this low spinning just east of Newfoundland. Single-digit highs and periods of rain and fog continue there. High pressure further to the west, and that, again, we've been kind of the battleground between that high and the low, and that's why that's been driving that northerly wind that has been so dominant really through the day today and will continue to be in the mix again for tomorrow. Watching this system here, it is going to try to edge its way into the region for Friday, but the models have been trending further south with that, and we'll show you the latest on that in just a second. You can see, though, the heat certainly climbing up. Again, we're under the influence of that northerly flow, keeping us out of this hottest of heat. 26 in Toronto, 27 in Chicago, nearly 40 degrees in Phoenix and down towards southern Texas right now. So the heat is on for sure. You can see temperatures into the teens across the Canadian prairies. So shower chances isolated, but could work their way as far west as, say, Pictou and eastern edges of Halifax County. That possibility is there for tonight. Should mention, again, Yarmouth down towards Bridgewater, around 11, 12 degrees. The valley near 10 degrees for tonight. So a fine night tonight. Now let's show you the outlook as we run through tomorrow and through tonight and tomorrow. And you can see that low-level cloud, the fog patches moving back in through the overnight tonight. Those are going to be in the mix, no question about it. So a bit of a sluggish start again for tomorrow, but we're off to the races pretty quickly into the morning through western and edging into central areas. Again, Cape Breton, I think we'll see less sunshine tomorrow. More of the dominant cloud. That low is going to be closer, and we'll see the chances for showers, clouds pretty dominant, and a mainly cloudy day Northumberland shore and into the Guysborough County region, but a fair amount of sunshine further west. Maybe a very isolated risk of a pop-up shower, but it is indeed isolated indeed. Temperatures ranging from 11 to 14, 15 degrees. Some sun breaks possible, again, western Cape Breton and certainly into the mainland of Nova Scotia, but pretty capped from Cheticamp down through Sydney tomorrow. Looking at, again, drier and brighter conditions the further west we go here. Temperatures popping into the low 20s. Again, Northumberland shore coolest right along the coastline. And temperatures, I think, will hit 24, 25 degrees. Bridgewater, Kedgie tomorrow. Bit of a westerly flow developing, so that'll keep temperatures cooler right in Yarmouth. But we will be looking at those mild temps inland. Now, a bit of a southerly component moving back to the Atlantic coastline on Thursday. So cooler along the beaches. Cooler right along the Northumberland shore. This will be kind of a light sea breeze type day, and as a result of that, can't rule out an isolated shower wrapping around the low and then a little isolated risk edging into the afternoon. Now, note for Friday, increasing clouds here, but that wet weather looking set to stay to the south, and so a very isolated risk, but we're keeping it dry on Friday here now, and it looks like isolated shower chances on Saturday, a greater risk of showers on Sunday, but again, models have been a little wish-washy on that, so it's only Tuesday, and again, some room for more improvement right here tomorrow. Stay tuned.
We know you can do it, Ryan.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Okay, thanks for that.
Thanks, Amy.
And up next, I'll talk with Tanya Wimmer with the Marine Animal Response Society about drone footage that shows an endangered right whale very close to the Nova Scotia shoreline. That's our newsmaker. Stay with us. You're watching CBC Nova Scotia News. Some hikers on Nova Scotia's Dover Island near Peggy's Cove came across an unusual sight recently. An endangered North Atlantic right whale was swimming surprisingly close to the coastline. Tanya Wimmer is executive director of the Marine Animal Response Society. So what do you make of seeing a right whale like that so close to the rocks? How unusual is it?
It was, I must say, it was pretty surprising when a friend actually shared the footage and said, you got to look at this. And when it comes into the picture and it's clear as anything that it's a right whale. And I must say, I did gasp when the footage sort of backs out a bit. You see the rocks and it was like, oh my God, why is it so close to shore? It is, it's not, we would say it's more of a rare thing to sort of see them that close to shore. It is not, it's just not their typical behavior for, especially here in Canada. But they have been known to be near shore. There's some whales off Cape Cod that they've literally had their chins almost on the beaches and have been up rivers. So it's just not your typical sighting.
How valuable to you is to see this kind of footage?
Well, I mean, obviously, given all the conservation measures and all the hard work everyone's trying to do in Canada to save them, knowing where every one of these animals are, if we can, is really important. And so even besides the very cool factor of seeing that animal, and I'm sure for those climbers, it was really impressive to see. But immediately for us, we share the information with our Fisheries and Oceans colleagues so that they have it in terms of their discussions and communications about where these animals are right now in Canadian waters.
I understand they didn't even know what kind of whale it was, right?
The climbers, no, they were just filming while they were doing some of their bouldering, and this whale just sort of snuck into view, and I think the drone pilot was quite surprised, and afterwards quite surprised to hear that it was one of the very few remaining endangered North Atlantic right whales.
Well, what do we know about this particular whale?
Yeah, and this is the very cool thing about right whales, because of that little white rough patches on their head and a bit on their chins and faces. There's actually a catalog of each of these whales and they can be identified. And for this, guys, our colleagues at the New England Aquarium and with NOAA, which is the DFO counterpart in the US, they were very quick to be able to identify this animal. His number is 5104. He doesn't have a name yet. It is a male, and he's only 3 years old. He was born in 2021.
So he seems to be healthy?
He's a little bit thin. Healthy for right whales is sadly a bit of relative, because they're all in a little bit of not great shape compared to their cousins in the south, way down in the southern hemisphere. But he's not looking too bad. He's heading into the feeding grounds, so they always look a little thinner and a little sort of grayer until they come into these rich feeding grounds. So hopefully that's where he's headed, and he'll get there safely and be able to bulk up a little bit.
Now, at his age, would he normally be alone, or did he get separated from the others?
No, right whales in general, they're not, except where they're feeding or on some of their calving grounds. That's usually when you see them in bigger groups, but they're not known to be in huge groups like we see for some of our, like pilot whales or dolphins. And so a right whale on their own is not usually a huge element of concern, especially he is old enough to not be with his mom anymore. He's 3. So the, him on his own is not so weird. To have him that close to shore and near Halifax Harbor was concerning at first.
But 3 years old is still quite young.
Oh yeah, these right whales, they usually have their babies, and then within the year or so the babies have left mom. It's just how whales do it. And so he is still a young animal, and I'm sure still figuring a few things out. He has been spotted in Canadian waters before, the year after he was born. I think the last sighting was August of 2022. So he's been out there somewhere, and I don't know if there's been many sightings of him since, so it's quite nice to see him. That's at least good to know he's still out there.
Now, another right whale named Sheila was recently spotted in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, entangled in gear. Do you have any updates on her?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit of the situation with these animals when they're spotted in wide open ocean, is that they spotted her and reported her as entangled right away. And as far as I know, she hasn't been relocated since. So everyone's very hopeful and sort of on standby that if she gets resighted still in the Gulf of St. Lawrence or other parts of Canadian waters, that there's things that the teams and who do disentanglement and obviously with Fisheries and Oceans can do. But to date, I don't think she's been relocated yet.
Are you expecting another sighting of the young 3-year-old whale?
Oh my gosh, I hope so. That's always the good news, right? We like to see these animals. It is obviously a challenge when it comes to the conservation, and obviously we have a lot of people on the water working, and that's always very difficult. But everyone's very much working together to try to protect these animals, and so resights of them is obviously what we want, and we want to see them healthy. We want to see them free from injuries or harm, and just being able to coexist with our humans that are also out there.
All right, well, a bit of good news today. Thank you, Tanya. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Coming up, making the return journey to Normandy. D-Day veterans travel back to the beaches they stormed nearly 8 decades ago. Welcome back. Canadian MPs are facing new questions about foreign interference into politics here, after a new report suggests some among their ranks have assisted foreign state actors meddle in politics, and no one is named in the report, which is raising its own concerns about trust on Parliament Hill. Rafi Boudjikanian reports.
Justin Trudeau's cabinet has been preoccupied with foreign meddling for months, but typically they've not had to address their own caucus colleagues' potential involvement.
The allegations contained in the report are extremely serious. Anytime you have a suggestion that our democracy is being undermined, it has to be taken very seriously.
That's a concern for all of us, regardless of caucus, regardless of party.
That, as a new report by a committee of politicians with security clearance tasked with intelligence oversight says parliamentarians semi-wittingly or wittingly helped foreign states interfere into politics here, some accepting funds or benefits from foreign missions and their proxies, and providing privileged information to foreign diplomats, and in one case to a known foreign intelligence officer. The report also said China and India have interfered in conservative leadership races, providing no specifics.
We know that China and India are interfering in our democracy and are using members of parliament to do so. A Canadian is dead because India allegedly sent assassins to murder him in Surrey, BC. Yet, the Conservative leader refuses to condemn India's Modi, and the Prime Minister has failed to protect our democracy. How will this Prime Minister take this matter seriously and hold these foreign governments to account?
The very creation of the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians has allowed us to see a lot more and to make sure that all parliamentarians are aware of what the intelligence community is doing to keep Canadians safe. We will continue to do everything necessary to protect Canadians.
One opposition leader has an idea, saying every caucus should ask each of their MPs whether they may have been involved, even inadvertently, in foreign meddling.
I can only say that if we came to the conclusion that one member of my caucus would have been involved in such activities, he could not remain part of the caucus. That's clear.
The governing Liberals would not make that commitment on Tuesday, though Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland did say her party would be conducting an internal follow-up of some sort. For their part, the Conservatives say they never got any warning from Canada's spy agency CSIS about foreign interference into their last leadership contest. Rafi Bujikani on CBC News, Ottawa.
One of the men charged with the murder of Canadian Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in BC was arrested months ago in Ontario. He was detained just one day before many prominent Sikh separatists gathered for a wedding in Brampton. India considers many of those individuals enemies of the state. The federal government has directly linked his killing with the Indian government. The CBC's Evan Dyer has the details.
Of the 4 men charged in the murder of Sikh leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar, one stands out. Amandeep Singh, yet to enter a plea on any of his charges. Arrested months before the others on the eve of a high-profile wedding that brought together a number of big names on the Government of India's enemies list. Police seized this pistol, which had an extended magazine and distinctive coral snake engraving, similar to a pistol he had in this video posted to social media last year. It's not clear where or when the video was shot, and Singh's lawyer told CBC News he had no comment on it. Police have never said what Amandeep Singh was doing in Brampton, but he doesn't live there all the time. That weekend wedding last November had a notable guest list.
You would refer to them as probably Sikh leadership across the country, especially those that are involved in the Khalistan movement.
Moninder Bol is a Khalistani, or Sikh separatist, who was a close collaborator of Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
Now it seems like there's a lot of dots that could be connected for that weekend.
One of those invited was Gurpatwant Singh Pannan, an old friend of Santokh Singh Khela, father of the groom. Pannan is presumed to be India's #1 target. He lives under tight security in New York since U.S. authorities accused Indian government officials of trying to kill him. At the last minute, Pannan cancelled his trip to the wedding.
I come with a lot of liability. I did not want it to, weigh them under my security threats and bring in, all that attention which I bring in when I go and join it.
The host says that since the wedding, he's been visited by CSIS and told to take precautions. He and the others have no illusion that the danger to them has gone away.
There will be more teams, there are more people running around or everywhere, we are not scared from them, scared out all of them, we're not afraid from the die.
While the exact events of that weekend may only emerge at court, Sikhs who've spoken to CBC News say they don't believe the timing was a coincidence, and they also don't believe the Government of India has given up on its intention to kill them. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Ottawa.
Farmers across Europe are staging demonstrations ahead of EU elections later this week. Dozens of tractors rolled into central Brussels, honking their horns and parked in front of the European Parliament. Hundreds of farmers from across Europe are protesting with the support of right-wing political parties and organizations. They say low food prices, excessive regulation, and free trade deals have them struggling to compete with cheap imports. New EU environmental laws are a key target of the protests. U.S. President Joe Biden announced sweeping new measures to restrict entry of asylum seekers at the U.S.-Mexican border. It's the administration's most aggressive move yet to curb illegal crossings. It comes as polls show immigration is a top issue heading into this fall's presidential election. Benji Heyer has the details from Washington.
This is President Biden's most restrictive immigration policy to date. Tuesday's executive order will see asylum requests halted if crossings exceed a daily average of 2,500 people. There are some exceptions, including for unaccompanied children and humanitarian situations. The US-Mexico border will only then reopen to asylum claims once they decrease to 1,500 per day. That is less than the current daily figures. President Biden says doing nothing is simply not an option and that these steps are necessary to secure the border.
This action will help us gain control of our border, restore order into the process. This ban will remain in place until the number of people trying to enter illegally is reduced to a level that our system can effectively manage.
The law also allows authorities to turn away many foreign nationals who are seeking entry without prior authorization or at unofficial ports. In other words, they'll have to come in via established points, essentially by appointment, and migrants who are expelled under the order will be banned from re-entering the United States for 5 or more years. Now, the administration is framing this action as a last resort after Republican Party lawmakers in Congress blocked a bipartisan bill aimed at addressing these recent record influxes of migrants. And the move is an effort to prove to American voters that the president can be tough on illegal immigration. His rival for the Oval Office, Donald Trump, is vowing mass deportations and suggests that immigration is, quote, poisoning the blood of America. But several progressive and Hispanic Democrats have been venting their outrage at this announcement by Joe Biden, whilst Republicans on Capitol Hill, well, they claim the measures don't go far enough, calling them a scam. It's also likely to face legal challenges, with the American Civil Liberties Union already planning to sue. At that point, at least, President Biden would be able to go to the country and say that he's exhausted his options and once again point the finger back at Congress, urging lawmakers to pass comprehensive reform. Benji Heyer for CBC News, Washington.
Rocket attacks by Hezbollah militants have sparked major wildfires in northern Israel. High heat, low humidity, and changing winds are driving the flames. The fires have burned about 400 hectares. There are reports that a number of homes have been damaged or destroyed. Much of the region had already been evacuated because of escalating hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah militants based in southern Lebanon. A First Nation in Northern Ontario is suing the federal and provincial governments over mercury contamination in a river flowing through its territory. Grassy Narrows First Nation says the governments did not meet their obligations to ensure community members could practice their right to fish safely.
The people of Grassy Narrows have suffered enough. The future children, the grandchildren that are coming behind us when I'm long gone, we want a good future for them.
The lawsuit claims the governments have allowed the river to be contaminated and then failed to address the problem while authorizing harmful industrial activities. Community leaders say the matter would have been handled differently if another segment of the population had been affected. The lawsuit is seeking several measures, including an order that the governments protect the river and Grassy Narrows territory. On Thursday, the Allied nations of the Second World War will mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day. On June 6, 1944, thousands of Allied soldiers, including 14,000 Canadians, stormed the beaches in Normandy. The invasion marked the beginning of the end of the war in Europe. CBC's Julia Wong is there in France and met some of Canada's vets who've returned to mark the solemn anniversary.
I'm in front of the Juno Beach Centre, where earlier today a group of Canadian World War II veterans, including a handful who were here on D-Day, arrived to much fanfare. Now, a crowd gathered as these veterans were taken off a bus before they were brought inside the centre, some people lining up to shake their hands. Now, many of them seem to be in awe of these veterans, the youngest of whom are in their late 90s. Now, for many people, the 80th anniversary of D-Day is particularly poignant, especially as there are fewer and fewer veterans with every passing year. The veterans themselves had this to say about being in Normandy.
It's important for the obvious reason that I lost friends as a result of D-Day. And I've been here twice before to pay my respects. So this will be the last time. It's time for me to pack it in.
This will be one of the last events where we're going to have veterans that are with us. So of course it makes it even that much more special.
Now, the Juno Beach Centre has been a hive of activity. Preparations are in full swing for the commemorations that will take place later this week. As you can see, a stage has been set up behind me and a couple viewing areas have been set up for the public. This one over here for students, another one over there for the general public. And I want to draw your attention to this area right over here. This is the VIP area. This is where veterans will be sitting. This is where dignitaries, including Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, that's where he will be sitting. And over the last few days, we've seen more and more Canadians arrive here. And some of them have told us that they've made it a point to be here for this anniversary.
I suppose it's a bit of a pilgrimage to honor them and to thank them for their service and to remember everything that they've done for our country.
It's really amazing to be here and to see where those who've gone before and who've given their lives before have actually walked these beaches.
A row of small Canadian flags has been planted on Juno Beach to honor the sacrifices that were made here, the Canadians who stormed this particular landing beach. And everywhere you go in this region, you see Canadian flags on streets, in storefronts, a reminder of that special connection between France and Canada. Julia Wong, CBC News, Juno Beach, France.
For news you can trust, we have the latest on what's happening in your community and a weather forecast you can rely on no matter where you are in Atlantic Canada. I'm Amy Smith.
And I'm Ryan Snoddon.
Join us for Atlantic Tonight,
right after the National.
It's funny how the nice weather gets everybody out taking pictures. They want to share them, and your mailbox fills up.
It really, every night, there is another handful, 2 handfuls sometimes of pictures that come in. So thank you so much to everybody for sharing. Can only share 1 per night, of course. So there's a lot of folks that I just appreciate. Keep sending them in.
We like to see them anyhow.
Yeah, definitely. Have a look at this one for tonight. And this one, we're going to go back to the valley. And we've been to Trout Lake before, or Trout River before. Actually, that is Trout Lake. It's my mistake on the graphic, but this is Trout Lake, and there's no mistake here with this shot. The timing to get that hummingbird.
Very
nice. Thank you so much.
Some patience there, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And a beautiful shot indeed. And Ryan's picks at cbc.ca is where Ann sent the pick, and you can do the same. We will see tomorrow in Trout Lake and across the valley around 23 degrees, 18 in Yarmouth with a bit of a westerly wind kicking in there. Bridgewater and the South Shore anywhere from between 22 and 25. Halifax near 22 tomorrow. And you can see those contours in green, a little cooler towards the east, especially places like Sydney and those onshore winds with the low double digits. Thursday, looking at another nice day with variable light winds coming in across the province. And Cape Breton will get a little milder on Thursday, which will be great. Still a bit cloudy, but not a bad day overall. And then for Friday, it does look like, again, we will cloud up, but we're going to stay dry with just a very isolated risk of a shower. Isolated shower chances, but I do think we will see them a little more prevalent in the mix for Saturday, and then a better risk, in fact, the best chance really over the next few 5 to 7 days is going to be Saturday night and into Sunday.
Okay. Well, as a dad of 2 young boys, I think you'll appreciate this. It was a bring your kid to work day that one U.S. congressman will never forget, and neither will anyone else on Capitol Hill.
Justice system to engage in a politically driven prosecution and now conviction.
Republican John Rose was first to speak on the House floor yesterday, but it was his 6-year-old son, Guy, who stole the spotlight.
While Dad gave a 5-minute speech about Trump's criminal conviction, Guy sat behind him gesturing with his hands and making facial expressions. Afterwards, Rose went online saying, "This is what he gets for telling his son to smile at the camera for his little brother."
That's awesome. And that is it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.